Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Leon Thomas, the co host of NRG This Week. You're here to watch NRG This Week. Mike Weiner and I are going to have a great conversation. Here we go. Welcome to NRG This Week. Welcome to another episode of NRG This Week. I'm your host and co-host, Leon Thomas. I'll be joined by NRG President and CEO, Mike Weiner. It's 8 o'clock on Wednesday mornings, and that could mean nothing else than a quick conversation and hello with my friend, longtime friend, Mike Weiner. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, phenomenal. Good morning. How are you?
Everything is just groovy, Mike. So we're not supposed to talk sports, so we won't talk sports until after the show. Boy, do I have a big announcement to make about the Baltimore Ravens. But anyway, we're not here for that. Mike, tell me something really hot and groovy that's happening with NRG.
Leon, November is Thanksgiving, so I encourage everyone to be thankful every day for everything. But tonight we've got the energy experience, and this is really starting to take off. We had three visitors last week. Looks like all three are going to be joining. We had one of them join the other day. But if you are brand new to networking or you've been networking for 2.5 decades, like yours truly, you want to come to the energy experience where you will get three referrals on the spot. You will make lifelong friends. You will meet many of the folks from NRG and experience the NRG culture. It's going to be on my Zoom tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern. My Zoom is 367-333-9689. 367-333-9689. It's not too late to network. You want to get involved now, Leon. Why? Because membership rates are going up January 1st. First it was milk, then it was gasoline, now it's NRG membership. So lock in your spot now before we have our first price increase in 13 years.
The first price increase in 13 years. But if you join now, you don't have to worry about that. You have to worry about it. Uh-oh.
It's $500, and
Yeah.
all the current members are grandfathered in. So consider me, Dr. Z and I fight about who's the nicest guy in the world. Consider me the nicest for today, because I'm telling you, you want to join now, Leon. You want to join now and take advantage of the $500 before we have the membership increase. And you're giving me a real puzzle, a quizzical look,
Yeah,
which I
because
don't think I've ever seen from Leon. Never.
I'm trying to understand, how do you and Dr. Z, how are you guys fighting about who's the nicest person in the world when obviously it's me? I just don't understand. How am I not even involved in that conversation? But that's okay. Don't answer. You want to know how nice I am? I run a youth racquetball program called Racquetball Revival. 28 kids play racquetball. Go to racquetballrevival.com and check out how nice I am and how smooth I am on the court. I'm getting you and Dr. Z. We're going to have a battle out. Yeah, we're going to let fans vote on who's the nicest person in the
It's
world here.
okay, Leon. It's okay to be number three. I don't know why you're sweating the small stuff.
I am
Don't
not
sweat the
Burger
deep.
King. I'm not Burger King. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, I'm not Burger King, baby. What do we do? No, producer Jay just messaged me.
Three-way tie and call it a day.
Producer Jay just messaged me and wanted me to and asked me if we wanted to remove you from the show and your guest and I would just talk. But we're not going to do that. We're not.
Nice.
Oh, he's gone from the
It
screen.
wouldn't be
All
nice.
right, here we go. Mike, we have a really, really cool guest with us today. How about going ahead and introducing our guest?
I am really excited to have Richie here today. Richie is new to NRG. He joined our Long Island NRG group a couple of weeks ago. He's been in insurance for a while. He's started a Goosehead insurance agency. We've got three different Goosehead insurance agents around the country now in NRG. The thing that's so cool about Richie Leon, when I met him, his background was a baseball stadium. And baseball is my favorite sport. And it was like Richie was sitting in the stadium and I could feel him there. I was waiting for him to get a hot dog and some popcorn and a soda, but really excited to bring Richie here. He does insurance. He's a great guy, great addition to the team. And Richie, I appreciate you being here today on short notice. I just asked you yesterday at 1 o'clock, and you said I'd love to meet Leon. I'd love to be on the interview and the meeting. So thanks for being.
Thanks. Nice to be here. It was nice to meet Leon. He is smooth, like the velvet fog. So my name is Rich. I do personal lines, which is anything that you own as a person: cars, motorcycles, homes, boats, snowmobiles, because we're getting to that season again. I've been doing it for many, many years. I'm licensed Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York. I am a native New Yorker, and for many years I took the 4 train past Yankee Stadium to go to school. So my love of the Yankees has been for a very long time. And my love of helping people, of actually explaining what insurance is and what it means, because sometimes the most expensive thing you can buy is cheap insurance. So we make sure you get the right coverage. And about 10%, 12% of the people that I meet, professionals in my networking groups, have the wrong insurance. Either it's the wrong form, or they did not know that if there was a loss, they would have to pay a percentage because they were underinsured. Or what do you do with an accident? That's the type of stuff I do. I was a captive agent for many years, which means that anything that began with an A and ended with a state, I could only sell their product. Now I sell 20 to 25 really good companies, and I'm your broker, which means I represent you.
Oh, Richard, let me ask you this. How did you get into insurance? I mean, we meet people that do so many things and you wonder, how did they start in? How did you get into? I mean, when you were 6 or 7 years old, was your goal to be in the insurance business? How did you get into insurance? What was the motivation for that?
Well, my goal at 6 or 7 years old was to play first base for the Yankees. But having no skills and being a New York City resident and only going to New York City schools, I didn't have enough education to get a real job. So this was one of the things I learned. And eventually, I always wanted to work for myself. So I've been doing it for about 35 years, working for myself. This now I really love. The last few years, I sold my large agency, and now I can represent lots and lots of great companies, from Lloyd's of London to Nationwide to you tell it. I also teach flood insurance for FEMA and the National Flood Insurance Program. Being a Long Island guy now, that was always important. And my main thrust is working with people that need to sell real estate, realtors and mortgage people. I have a system set up where they never lose a deal. I know how to make things work, and I have a crew behind me that on a day of closing, it's always a mess. I can change paperwork around in about a half an hour.
Now, let me ask you this. Before the show started, you and I were talking in the green room, and you threw out some acronyms at me, man. I wrote one of them down, and I think you just kind of mentioned it, but let's talk about it a little bit. Then I'll let you and Mike talk about NRG and all of that. You said, I teach NFIP. Right? What? Your acronyms are flying around. What is that? How did it get started? And fill us in on what that is. You mentioned it some, but go into a little detail here for about a minute or so.
No problem. Well, first of all, NFIP is SFW. It is safe for work.
Whoa. There it is again. More acronyms. I love it. Okay, go ahead. I won't stop in.
No problem. I
love this.
I have lots of brothers and sisters, so I'm used to having 3 seconds to get my point across. NFIP is the National Flood Insurance Program that was started in 1968 by the U.S. government. It's administered by FEMA, the Federal Emergency. Oh, FEMA, right? So last year, they came up with a new product because from 1968 to 2021, they had managed to pay out $96 billion and collect $68 billion. So a bit of a shortfall. And now they're trying to make this thing a little bit more accurate and where they're not losing as much money. They were paying for lots of people's second homes, like on Fire Island, that would have every other year get washed out, and they would pay them. Now there's a lot more changes in it, and it's been pushed by the private sector because the private sector has now gotten into the flood business. So that's what NFIP is.
All right, right on. I'm going to back away, let you and Mike talk about NRG and your relationship some, and I'll come back and join you in a little bit. Go ahead, Mike.
So, Richie, I got 3 questions for you. I'm going to start with baseball. I don't usually do this. You're a New York Yankee guy. Who is your favorite New York Yankee baseball player of all time? I want to know, and then I will tell you mine, even though I'm from Maryland.
Mickey Mantle. That's it.
Mickey Mantle. Okay. I'll tell you mine was Greg Nettles, because we had Brooks Robinson here in Baltimore. I've always been fascinated by third basemen. So Greg Nettles was one of mine. The coolest one was Reggie Jackson, because he came from New York. He actually played with Baltimore, which a lot of people don't know in his last year. Let me ask you a question. You came to me, you were referred by Jenny Hernandez, who's a mortgage person. What did you see about NRG? You've been around the block a little bit. What was it about NRG that you decided to join so quickly? And don't say it's because I'm a nice guy, because that'll upset Leon. But what was it about NRG that you said, Mike, I'm going to join your organization? And you were getting ready to travel, so you came in a couple days later.
Well, Mike, I would never say you are a nice guy, so that would not be a reason for joining. But I am part of 2 other networking groups, and this was a little bit different. I liked the people. The people were solid, but I liked the ping pong, and which you'll explain all those other things, and you got a few leads out of it right then and there. And you're a big texter, so you texted to me and to other people to introduce us. And then last night you texted me, here's the website. And then I had to figure out, how do I put that into my computer from my phone? So it gave me a little bit of a headache there.
Everybody a headache a little bit, but I've enjoyed working with you. What makes Richie the go-to guy in insurance? If someone's looking at different insurance companies and they talk to 2 or 3 people, what are some proprietary things about you? Why should someone want to do business with Richie?
Well, the first thing is I'm very, very thorough. I have a lot of people tell me that in 20 years or 30 years, they never even answered half of the questions that I asked. And that's because I want to get the right information. How do you live? What type of animals do you have? What's around you? What's important to you? And I have a pretty efficient system for doing that, because I like to talk to multiple people, and I like to explain, and I like to teach. Like Leon works with kids in Baltimore. My wife and I work with kids in Queens and New York City, and I like the teaching aspect of my job, which is people have been paying lots and lots of money for many, many years and have no clue what they're getting.
That's great. I mean, we need leaders to work with kids, because that's the next generation coming up. So I'm going to ask you one more question. I'll bring Leon back in. What's your greatest satisfaction when you help somebody with a policy, whatever type of policy it is? What satisfaction do you derive from being able to help them and keep them secure and know that you've got them covered in case of an emergency?
Well, one of the satisfactions is on Monday, I got a call from someone who said, you helped my dad, and now I want you to help me. So I have 3 generations on some families that I'm their insurance guy, and I take that very, very seriously. I like to have fun, but the first thing is, let's make sure that what you do is protected. I had somebody yesterday call me real early, and their young son at 17 had a fender bender and left the scene of the accident. And what do you do? And I was able to explain, here's a good way to get through this. And that wasn't selling insurance, but that was working with somebody who had an issue.
Back in, it's been great talking with you, and continue doing everything that you do. And I'm excited to have you aboard with Long Island. By the way, Long Island, New York and Houston, Texas have been our two hottest groups the last couple of months. And it's been great to have you aboard, Richie. So I will turn it over back in the studio to one of the nicest guys in the world, Leon Thomas.
Wow. One of the nicest guys in the world. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
he's backpedaling, Leon.
He is. He is. I tell you what. And we had some comments from folks that were asking about, look, someone said, who will the judges be when we have the Who's the Nice Guy show? Right. So
I see John Ritz.
Yeah. So ha. There we go. Richie, thanks for being with us. I have one more question regarding insurance. So now you sell all insurances like auto, home, renters, all of that. You do all of that, right?
Yes, I do.
All right.
And over the years, I've gotten, I don't do life insurance anymore. I hand that off. Commercial insurance, I hand that off. I found some good people this way. You know, I'm an old guy, so I'd rather just concentrate on one thing. And I have a lot of depth or a lot of markets, which means if I can't do it this way, I'll do it that way.
Okay, good. It's great to have you here. And again, if you want to get in touch with Richie, because I know you want to support him and his business, there's how you do it. You go to rh@goosehead.com. That's how you get in touch with Richie. Richie, one more thing. Let's talk about Mike for a second.
You said one more thing like 5 minutes ago, and then
that's what I do. That's what I do. I can't count. I can do virtual stuff. I can play racquetball. Everything else, I count my money, but I don't have that much money, so I can't even count in that. Hey, listen, let's talk about Mike for a second. He is a really nice guy. Let the record reflect.
Well, I guess you and I had just different experiences with Mike.
Oh.
You know, I am from New York, and you need a little bit of the New York attitude to come out.
Richie, I'm gonna have to come up to New York and find you, buddy. Jeez.
Wow. Not a problem. I could send my cousin Tony down to get you. He works on the docks in Baltimore.
Wow, it's getting rough here, folks.
Leon, you only pick on me if you like me, so I think Richie loves me. So there you go.
There you go. Richie, thanks for being our guest on NRG this week. Look forward to your business being continuously successful and also showing folks what they don't know about insurance and helping them get the right insurance for them. Thank you, Richie. It's great having you on the show.
Thanks, Leon. Thanks, Mike. It's good talking to you guys.
You, buddy. You're welcome, Richie.
Leon Thomas here with Mike Weiner for NRG This Week, another episode. Now, Mike, let's go ahead. Let's talk for 30 seconds. Okay, let's do it for a minute about the Baltimore Ravens. My prediction now is the Ravens will not lose another game in the regular season. Here's why. We played that Thursday night game, and then we had that kind of mini bye. We play Monday, and then there's a real bye week. We got a lot of off time after Monday's game against New Orleans. It's coming up. We don't play again until the 23rd of November, and everyone we play starting then has a losing record with the exception of the team that we played last, the Cincinnati Bengals, and they even lost to the Cleveland Browns on Monday. Ravens win the AFC North easily and they're going in the playoffs. That's what I have to say. That's it.
Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 2-0 against Tom Brady, the GOAT. That is amazing. I'm with you. It's funny because you've predicted the Ravens to lose some of these games. Now you've done a complete turnaround. I do not agree with you. I think they're going to drop one game the rest of the year. They're going to win the division with a record of 13-4. I see them stumbling against somebody. I haven't looked at the season, the schedule for the rest of the year, but they are poised to make a really nice run. I think they're going to drop one game. The Bengals, what an age they drop losing.
Producer Jay.
They're losing Pittsburgh one game.
Producer Jay is making his presence known. Wow, Mike, you struck a chord, Mike.
What's that?
Mike, you struck a chord. Anytime Jay comes on camera, that means we got an issue here. You struck a chord. Wow.
What did I say wrong? The Ravens are going to lose one more game. They're going to go 13-4. Lamar Jackson is going to take them to the Super Bowl. We're going to win the Super Bowl, and Lamar is going to get his payday at the end of the season. This is a beautiful year to be a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Wow. Folks, this is NRG This Week. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. To learn more about what we do to be your partner in all things virtual, go to the leonthomasgroup.com and check out our racquetball program at racquetballrevival.com. If you are not an NRG member, you should be. You can learn more about NRG by going to nrg.online, and NRG CEO and President Mike Weiner can be reached on his mobile device at 443-756-9656. Mike, you said tonight there's an NRG experience. That's at what time, and how do folks join in on that?
Eastern tonight. It's going to be on my Zoom 367-333-9689. Come join the NRG team. You'll get 3 referrals on the spot. Once you join, you will get 20 additional 3-way text intros from me. I'm very good at blowing up your phone. That's my reputation, and it's going to continue. We had 5 new members, Leon, join since Friday, and things are exploding at NRG. So come join the NRG wave. Mike Weiner, NRG, pinball. Leon, thank you for having me. You and I go back 2.5 decades, and you are one of the nicest guys I have ever met. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike, with the Rex voice. Thanks for watching NRG This Week. We'll see you next week. Here we go.